I'm your host, Austin Peterson. Today's episode of the Freedom Report will be talking about the economics of disaster. Was Uber just being heartless when they instituted surge pricing during the hostage crisis in Sydney, Australia? A hostage crisis in Sydney, Australia, combined with the news that ride-sharing company Uber would be charging surge pricing for taking people away from the scene of the hostage crisis. Uber was found to be charging passengers $82 for a ride away from the scene of the crime, which is 4 times the normal rate. People derided Uber as being heartless capitalists. The company even reversed their decision after the backlash, giving users free rides away from the scene of the crime. People said that Uber was trying to profit off of people's misfortunes. But is that really the case? Let's examine the facts. What is surge pricing anyway? Let's take a look at how Uber defines it. With surge pricing, Uber rates increase to get more cars on the road and ensure reliability during the busiest times. When enough cars are on the road, prices go back down to normal levels. It's important to know you'll always be notified in big, bold print if surge pricing is in effect. When rates are more than double, the surge confirmation screen also requires you to type in the specific surge multiplier to ensure you understand what rates to expect. So surge pricing is an attempt to let pricing flow along with the laws of supply and demand. You'd expect something like that on a holiday like Halloween, where I got dinged for $80 for a ride that took me only 2 miles. But I had come to expect it, and I was glad that the service was there and available, so I didn't have to drive that night. So what about in a case where it's not a national holiday, but something like this terrorist attack or something like a Hurricane Katrina? Is it wrong for Uber to charge higher prices? No, it's wrong for them not to charge higher prices, and here's why. Rational economic actors are always trying to do what's in their own perceived self-interest. So, say you were an Uber cab driver and your boss told you that you had to drive into a disaster area to pick up passengers and ferry them out, but you had to do it for free. Then, what if your boss came to you and told you that you had to ferry passengers out of a disaster area, but you would be getting paid double or even perhaps triple more than your normal rate? Would you be more inclined to send more cabs? Absolutely, and that's exactly what Uber was thinking when they instituted surge pricing during the terror attack. Remember Hurricane Katrina, when politicians were accusing people of price gouging for trying to sell things like essential items like gas generators or medical supplies for double or triple what they were normally selling for before the disaster? People accuse capitalists of being heartless, of not caring about the poor. But if you understand how the laws of supply and demand works, think of it this way. If you owned gas generators and you lived in the state of Missouri, it wouldn't make sense to try and sell gas generators during Hurricane Katrina unless you could make more of a profit. Because there was more profit, because you could sell gas generators for more than what it normally would sell for, there was an economic incentive for people to actually step in, for entrepreneurs to come in and to provide the marketplace with what it needed. That would mean that if you follow the laws of supply and demand, there would actually be more supplies because entrepreneurs, knowing that they could profit, would step in to meet that demand. It's the same concept for Uber. Higher prices would mean more taxis available for people to get them out of the area. So there you have it. The unintended consequences of people's economic misunderstanding is actually harmful to the people that it's supposed to help. If you really want to be safer, let the free market do its job. I'm Austin Peterson. Thank you for watching today's episode of the Freedom Report. Please subscribe to my channels and don't forget to visit thelibertarianrepublic.com every single day, your home for economic freedom and personal liberty.